Hello, and welcome back to the Awesome Baduk Masterclass series. So today's game is between Ichirikiryo and Siaka in the finals of the In Cup. I believe this is game 2 of the In Cup. And as I think most of us know, Ichiriki was victorious, and he is currently a rising star in the Japanese world. He is taking a bunch of titles and holding them simultaneously, while being one of the Japanese players to be an international threat, which is something that Japan hasn't had for quite a while. So it's a very exciting time, and it has to be unfortunate for Shiaka, because Shiaka was second place not only in this year's In Cup, but also the previous In Cup, which only happens every 4 years. But because of COVID, they played the last round last year in 2023, and so Shiaka was runner-up in both years, last year to Shinjinso and this year to Ichiriki. So must be quite disappointing for Shiaka to get second place in back-to-back years of a tournament that only happens every 4 years. Very prestigious tournament, the In Cup. And today's assignment is to memorize the first 174 moves. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to play through the game, and we are going to try to give our thoughts so that we can remember the moves and remember these questions for later. So we get a fairly normal opening here where we start with a 3-4 point. We jump into the 3-3 once we see a 4-4 point, and then we see this. And I want to point out that after here, here, and tenuki, we often tenuki when we see low approach and the pincer from this move. We often tenuki, which makes a lot of sense to me because usually if if black plays like the kosumi or the knight's move, we also see white tenuki very often, and it's not really easy to get a good follow up on the stone because even if you pincer, the stone can live inside. So I think that it's similar when you pincer. It's not very easy to prevent white from either coming out or getting into the corner. It's hard to capture this stone in a very efficient manner, and I think that's why we see a lot of low approach and then just tenuki. Then we have a one space high enclosure in the lower left. And with this one space high enclosure, I think we saw this in the previous game. As soon as black does anything, white plays C10. And this shape seems to be very common these days as white, which is really interesting. You don't usually see, well, at least when I was learning Go, you don't really see white play a move on this side early, right? Because white is usually the one who is trying to keep up with black because they're the second mover. So you see white play stones in a lot of other places around the board, but usually between their two corners, if they're doing a same side opening, is unusual, right? But we've now seen this in two games. If you watched game two, it happened in that game, and now it's happening again here in game three. So I feel like this is like a trend, and I want to play this for myself because I think it's very interesting. Um, I think that it is interesting to note. I believe both players who are playing white won those games, so maybe it's something to try out. Let me know what you think in the comments if you see this. But I do think that this shape seems to be trendy right now. So we get this and then attach. And I think the point of O16 over P16 is that if you try to do this, well, the stone is now in like the perfect place to like it's already peeping at this cut here, right? And if you go for this, right, it's already causing trouble because white, if they play here, then this cut is very severe. Um, it's very annoying for white now to do anything. You kind of have to do this. The stone is just in a very annoying position to harass white here. So I think that That's why we're playing O16, is so that the attachment here leads to this kind of idea where black wants to take the outside and white has the corner. Now, if white plays here, white is definitely alive. Um, it feels kind of slow though, and I understand that. I think that's why white wanted to peep on the outside. This peep is a far peep. I think the purpose is to sort of negate the power that black is building up here, right? If black doesn't do anything and sort of counter pincers or something like that, I think that this kind of stuff is quite annoying for black. I think that this kind of it's not, it doesn't feel very pleasant for black to be having to deal with this stuff. So I think that's why black answered here. And this stone is still pretty light. It's far away from black's wall, and we can use it in some constructive way down the line. So that makes sense to me. And then white plays here and creates a double wing formation. And I think in both games we had double wing formations. Um, in the previous game, game two, I think we also had a double wing formation, but that one, I think the stone was here. Either way, I think playing a double wing off of this one space high extension is very interesting. Um, so we play R9, and I think that we are trying to, I think, induce some kind of move out of white. I don't think white is dead. I think that white can, for example, if they want to live, I'm pretty sure they can play here and they're going to live. Uh, or at least it doesn't seem like it's a clear kill. It doesn't seem very easily killable to me. Um, well, if you do this, then you're strengthening the black group outside and you're creating more power. And I don't think white wants to do that. I think white would rather die and use the stones in some productive manner. So white plays here, and very, very strange move to me. I think the idea is that if you sort of ignore this, then I think maybe the idea is to do this so that you can live in Sente or leave behind this kind of cut Aji, right? And then say if black doesn't respond, then this exists for later, and if they do respond, then it's really nice. You just get to move somewhere else. So I feel um, like black lets this happen, um, but white played here. So I didn't quite understand like the reasoning behind. Oh, sorry. White played down immediately. So I didn't really understand what M17 was. I understand that you're just getting this exchange. I just don't think this exchange is very good for white because it doesn't feel like the top area is very large. So I don't know. This didn't feel good to me. I'm not sure, but it also feels like white now is dead in this corner, and there's no Aji. There's no Aji at all. It feels like it killed the Aji just to get M17 and 18 exchange, and it felt very strange to me, very difficult for me to understand. Maybe there will be a clear reason when I review. Then we play O14. And O14 is a cool move to me because it looks like it's an elephant eye, but if you because N16 is Ente, it's just a knight press. It's a fancy looking knight press, right? Because we would think, oh yeah, you want to make this exchange and then play here. Well, actually, why don't you just play here? You don't need to make this exchange. You don't need to make this group even heavier than it already is. So then black plays here and doesn't want to allow the connection to this stone and negate the influence, and that makes sense. So white plays here. Definitely a little bit weird. I thought that white would play here, right? If you want to restrain these stones. Interestingly, I think that the idea here is that if you wedge here, um, black can't really do much. If black does this, for instance, this cut is incredibly severe, and if black plays something like this, you can do this, and I feel like white is very comfortable in this fight. I don't think you're going to be able to kill white because white can always descend to the side at like J18. There's probably like lots of room for white to do things. Meanwhile, this black group is not very strong, and you're making like this sixth line territory. I feel like this is quite large and pretty efficient. I feel like this is not what black wants to be doing. So I think that that's kind of the idea behind this move, is that it doesn't feel very good for black to play g15 because of g16. Um, so black plays here, which makes a lot of sense, right? If you're just going to ignore, we're going to ignore, and then we play g16. So now, very solidly taking the influence and maintaining the connection with these stones nicely. Makes sense. So now black needs to deal with white's larger potential and plays here. The shoulder hit, we have a very normal sequence now. This sequence happens pretty often, I think. And then we play this move, which is very interesting. The way I never know where to play to reduce these kinds of things, right? I would think that like this sort of thing happens, or like, uh, even like something like this, or like attaching. I never know what's going on with these kinds of moves. The only thing that I remember about this move, and what helps me remember this move, is that it in a very hilarious way, this actually helps this ladder function. That's the thing that I read immediately. I was like, oh, well, if you have this stone in place, then suddenly this ladder works, which is really funny. Um, and that's how I remember that this move is significant. It's probably not the reason why it was played, but I think it is quite funny. And if you're going to play this move, then it's like, if that's actually part of the reasoning, then why that and not this one, right? So maybe you don't want to have this happen, and that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's harder to cap this stone because there's less of a severe attack, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why this move was played. It's a very interesting kind of reducing move. But this is how I remember it. White invades the corner to try and get something here. So black takes the corner and gives up a small position on the side. I like this because this corner is actually quite big now. It's actually very annoying. Normally, when you do this kind of exchange, it's with the stones one space closer to the edge, right? Usually, this comes from a 3-3 invasion point, and so there's more Aji there. But here, because we're one space farther away, that's not the case. And now there's not a lot of Aji here. It's very difficult to find Aji here because you can almost always do either this. Right, there's also a ladder, but you can also go like either this way or this way works. You have several options, so there's a lot of variation here, and it's very difficult for white to sort of play a profitable forcing exchange against this. So this is a very solid and decently sized corner. In exchange, you have this panuki, but the panuki is not super large because the side is not very large. I guess the potential here is great. So maybe that's the key, is that like Ichiriki was trying to blunt the power of this group by having this Panuki here. But it's not connected to this group. I feel like there could be problems. And so we see this move to take the side, and white decides to play these forcing moves and then play like this. And then at this point, is a very interesting question of where to go. I think that knowing what happens in the game, I feel like this corner could not have been the biggest point to play. And I feel like something else is more important. Maybe later on, black plays this move, and maybe it's right to take this now. Um, I think that there are a lot of options here. Maybe helping the center group. I'm not sure, but I just don't feel like saving this group right now is worth it. And this is oh yeah, black played here immediately. Sorry, and then we got these moves. Um, and yeah, this area does feel like the biggest area because it is where black has the most power, and so black is trying to do something here. I just don't understand the method that black is using. He plays here, which makes sense there something jumps out here. But instead of playing a move in here, black plays this move, which is very strange to me. You've already prevented the connection here, and now this is a sort of a shape point, and then when white plays here, black plays here, which I feel like there's almost no world in which this is like the best thing to do, right? I feel like maybe you are taking away the ability of white to live immediately. Maybe like I would think that like some move in this area would be better, but it feels really weird to allow white to keep getting moves on the outside while you're doing this. White takes the time to play here, which I really like this move. It creates a position on the upper side and helps these stones. It makes things stronger. It feels like a very prudent move. And then black plays this empty triangle, and it's very interesting. I think the idea is to try and kill the Panuki, but the Panuki is not that large. It feels like it feels quite small, and black played one, two, three, four moves in this area, and has to play a fifth move to surround these stones. And in the meantime, white is playing, these productive-looking moves, and I feel like this is definitely something that is in white's favor. I already think that white is very comfortable. Um, White kind of accomplished their goal of blunting the power that black gets from this group. So black kind of only has the territory. It's a very sizable amount of territory. Black has some territory in every corner, but there's a lot of potential here, and it's kind of worrying that black is playing moves like these to try and get all this territory, and white gets everything else that they want. It feels like white is playing very light and very fast. So now we play these moves. Sorry, we do this, 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 and then jump. And white connects, very prudent. Now, the thing is that we've given white a lot of power here, right? This is just a straight stick. It is very powerful. There's even a stone over here. There's like no way that white is attackable. I definitely think that the idea now is not to take territory. Black plays here, and I definitely feel like you can't play here. You just can't. That I don't know how I know this, but it just doesn't feel like this could possibly be correct here. Black has one, two, three corners. I don't think that black can afford to take this fourth corner right now and end in Gote, and then just like there's a lot of stuff around here. This group is annoying. These stones are annoying. There's potential over here. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the right place to be playing. I would want to play a move around here. Maybe something like this to attack this group. Maybe force it to play a move like S9 or something. This just doesn't feel right to me. This doesn't feel right to me. So then we play this here, here, here. And a good note for Q players, if you have not studied Your Life and Death, basically this is a ko. I will try to show you that this is a ko, um, and right. So this is a ko, uh, and uh, this I believe is also a ko. You do this here, here, and then here as a ko. Uh, let's see. This I believe is dead. Um, we can play uh, here and here. This is dead, and maybe sometimes the outside matters, but because this stone is here, I don't think the outside matters very much. So good to know that the way to live here is here. That's a nice move to understand. Once you know your corner shapes, B3 is a good one to know about. Is that you're alive here. Um, let's see. We get this peep. So, okay. If you just connect, uh, I think that the idea is that there's still cut Aji, there's still problems here, and white doesn't have any problems. So white can kind of bully you here and maybe split these two groups. And I don't think black wanted to do that. I think black preferred to attack white in the center of the board. Um, but the problem here is that this group is not very strong, and you just spent all these moves making white strong over here. So it feels really, really bad now. I feel like whatever happened here, black cannot be happy right now. Black absolutely cannot be happy. So we play a move to sort of stabilize ourselves. I believe it is like this. Yeah, to try and connect up. This doesn't feel. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel like the right shape. It doesn't feel very. Maybe the double knight is too weak to be cut, but with this group here. But if that's the case, then like I really feel like you should just connect or add more moves on this side. I don't know. The way this was handled seems very poor. Um, well, black is playing moves like this. This feels absolutely wrong. When white plays here to peep at this cut, black just plays here, which then the white plays here. This feels so nice for white, and it feels like black is accomplishing nothing. It actually just I don't understand what's going on here. Yeah, so black plays here as to try and make some shape here. But the problem is after this and this peep feels very severe now, and now you're seeing how strong this wall is and how annoying that is for black. Now you play here to try and net this stone, but after this exchange, white has reduced black to one eye here, and so after this move, I think that black needs to do something. Can't he can't make an eye here because this can make it false, but there's some aji here on the outside. I feel like that might have been reasonable. Um, but instead, we get this move. Uh, I am not sure what this accomplishes. White just gets to poke this out, makes white stronger, and then um, black played this Hane. Yeah. And then this is important because if white does not answer, for example, let's just play a move for white, then black just gets this and gets to play here, and it is very annoying for white. You might be able to do something here, but you're going to lose some very important cutting stones, and black is going to be back in control of this game. But maybe it's a maybe this is something. I don't know. This feels annoying. Um, this certainly, but there's still issues for black, right? You kind of have to connect here, for example. But I think black is much better here. So you can't you have to respond to this Hane. It's too much. So we play this table shape. Feels very nice. Or black plays here, trying to make shape, trying to protect cutting points. Yeah, white. Oops, sorry. White plays here, right, to attack this group, um, capturing some very big stones here. This would be like a 13, 14 point capture, right? Very big. And it also threatens to play a move like H8 and threaten to take even more things away from black. So black ends up playing this move. Uh, Almost kind of nonsensical, but it allows for black to play J12 later on and capture these stones. So that makes some amount of sense to me. Um, White plays here to enclose more territory and sort of threaten to bring this out and ruin this eye, turning it from one eye into zero eyes, right? Uh, Black plays here, connect, and then this. And I think that the idea here is that white cannot cut across. And that was kind of what black was saying, is that you can't cut across. So white cuts across anyways. and here, 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 and it's like, oh well, you couldn't cut me anyways. I don't know why you did this. But white just takes these stones away. Um, Black wants to link up these groups, and so starts by attacking, putting pressure on this group here, and then white cuts here, and this cut uh, is really annoying because it annoyingly attacks the eye space, right? If you do something like this, then uh, there's some issues here with like the eye space of these groups. So, for example, like if you play something like this, it is uh, this is already like a false eye over here. So there's already zero eyes, and now you have to try and connect back. But these stones here make that very annoying. So this feels very troublesome for black, and instead black opts to just give away the tail of the group. And then white captures the stones, and then black makes sure that there's no cut, and white eats the stones very solidly. And this is just so big. It's actually crazy. It all comes back to that original point in the middle game where I'm just like, how do you think that this is not protecting this cut is like reasonable? Um, it's kind of crazy, I think. Now, black plays this move, and just to make sure that you don't get sealed off, right? Because if if white gets another move, let's just say black wastes a move here, then this is just gigantic, ginormous, right? So you have to try and break into this area. White just plays here, um, and now white or black plays this exchange, which is really nice. I think it it it's like I feel like this exchange kind of helps white though because of it pushes these stones closer together, and it feels like you kind of do this before you play b17 in the corner because that's the stone. This is the move afterwards, right? You kind of play your forcing exchanges before you play b17, but I don't know about pushing J17 here, forcing white to link his two groups up together, because later on, like, I feel like if you don't do that, right, if you just do this, later on, you're still alive in the corner, but you still have like a peep here and like a way to cut and attack these stones. So it felt weird to see this. It feels very nice for white to get J17. Even though it kind of it's like, oh, this shape just feels natural. Yes, but the outside, like this connection feels like it's a little too good for white. And so we get this, and then here, white plays this move to peep at this point, and black answers the peep in a cool way to not let white get too much area on this side, which makes sense. But now, white plays p13, and that's very crazy to me. I was like, oh, what is happening here? Is there Aji being activated that I don't understand? And so black plays here and white plays here. And then black plays this clamp, which feels very natural. White connects. Once this happens, like if black just does this, then there's this move, right? And then if you block this move, white can play here. And now it feels like white is already alive. It does not feel very possible for you to prevent white from making two eyes here. And yeah, that's annoying. So black has to play here. And then white plays here, and then this. And now I don't understand how he saw the sequence. This is a very cool sequence. This is so interesting. Here, here, and this, right? You can't just connect because of this, and then you connect, right? So you have to, of course, play here. Then you play here, and if you just connect here, this group doesn't have eyes, and it's just going to like die instantly, right? So we have to capture on this side, and the group still doesn't have two eyes yet, by the way. Um, And so once you cut, and this, oh, sorry. Once this happens and you play here, make this exchange and then cut. Uh, you have this cut here, and you have to do this so that you don't make a ko, right? Uh, this is uh, this is very annoying uh, for black. Now, this whole exchange here, this exchange, oh, I'm sure black is heavily regretting this exchange now. This connection here is very annoying for black to deal with. So black plays this, and then white resists very strongly, plays like this, and then we get a uh, we get this move to try and make something happen, but white plays very calmly here. Just Hane connect. There's nothing. You can't you can't cut this off. You can't make win this liberty race. This white group here has too many liberties. We get this, and then here, and then here, and then connect, and oh, this is an unwinnable ko for white. And this is the 174th move. Let's keep going and figure out what happens. So white gives up this group, or black gives up this group, but then white just plays here, which is like the confidence that you're just going to win this fight anyways. I think this is kind of insane. Um, so you threaten the corner, and then this happens, and you uh, allow black to live here, which is a really cool outcome. I never thought this outcome would happen, but now this corner is in danger. They just connect back. They've kind of ruined all the territory over here, which kind of makes up for the fact that black ruins the territory here. And now this group is basically dead. White plays here, has too much potential. This is such a declaration of victory kind of endgame move. I feel like this is like a double big point in Gote. So we get this here. Yeah, this just doesn't feel like there's a yeah. Can't even connect solidly here. Wow. Here. Now we just do this, and you're not even taking the ko. It's so rough. Even if black plays here, can't make life. It just doesn't. It's just not gonna work here. I think that this is just like a semedori at best to reduce points for white, but it's so impossible, so impossible. You just connect this, and you're just like, yeah, what are you gonna do? Black plays here, and then you start the ko again. Sure, why not? And eventually, there's just nothing else to do. And at this point, there's resignation. This is it's such a crazy game. There's a lot I don't understand. I have some strong opinions about the game, but I feel like there's a lot that I don't understand. And all I did was I tried to come up with justifications so that I could more easily remember the moves. So let's try to replay the game ourselves and uh, see how far we get. So okay, we start here, 3-3, here, knight's move, tenuki to this point, and then here, low approach, low pincer, one space, and then tenuki. Two space low, and then we play this, which is the trend, and then we play here, and then this way. So that after this, we play here, and then white plays this move to peep, and then black plays this. And now white plays this move on the lower side to create the double wing. Black attacks this corner. White plays here on the outside. Black ignores it, and then white plays this exchange. still doesn't feel right to me. Uh, the corner has very little aji now. But we get this elephant jump, which is not a real elephant jump because this is a forcing move. We play here, and now white plays here. Black plays here, and white plays here. Very, very unusual sequence. I think this could only really happen in a pro game. This doesn't feel very like things that amateurs would do. Now we play this shoulder hit, and we play the normal shoulder hit stuff, which is this, and then we play here. Now this ladder works. I don't know what other reason why this move is here. I don't know why this point is particularly useful. White jumps into the corner, and we play a double hane, and this happens here, here, here. And now, instead of adding moves, we play here. Now, black plays here first to separate the white stones and put pressure. White plays here. Black plays here, which is kind of crazy. And then black plays here, which is also very crazy. And I didn't really understand this. White plays this move, which I really like because it creates a connection between these groups. And white's shape is very strong, pressures the corner, and then black plays this empty triangle. And I feel like black has invested way too many moves to make not a lot of real threats. This group is too small to care about. So then white plays here, and black now goes into this corner by pressing here, and then here, and then here, and then descend, come up here, jump here, descend. And I don't like this descent. Now, black can make life with this sequence, which is really good to know about, but I don't feel like this was very large. Now, white comes back and plays here. And I think that black kind of has to protect this, but plays here instead. And now it's very difficult. Black plays moves on this side, and then this side comes under strong attack. Plays a defensive move here, gets peeped, and then white makes this very nice shape, which feels really bad. Black plays here, but I feel like this area is the important area, and white plays here. When black attaches, white plays here and then peeps, which feels very painful. Then black plays this shape, white gets this move, and again, it feels very painful. It takes this away. Black now plays here, which I don't quite understand. So then white plays here to try and threaten more of black's shape. Black plays here because it threatens this whole group with this wedge here. So white plays here. Black plays this knight's move to try and connect. Now white plays up here and threatens these stones. Black plays here, and then white. Did I mess this up somewhere? I feel like black hasn't made this exchange yet. Oh no, yeah. So then white plays here, threatening to take this eye away. So black then plays this, and then this, taking advantage of the fact that because of J9, black can play J12 in Sente, but white doesn't actually care. So after this happens, white just captures these stones completely, and now black realizes that it's very annoying to try and save everything here because the entire group comes under attack. White has been threatening to take this eye away, so this is like half an eye right now. So black tries to play from the outside and also attack this group, which makes sense to me. Then white cuts here, and then black plays this move, which feels very slow. And I don't know why this is happening at this speed, because it feels like there's a larger sense of urgency, but black plays this sort of three in a row, kind of diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. It felt very strange. Now white plays here, black plays here. White will capture these stones solidly, and then it's black's turn. Black has this move, which I again feel like is bad because it is forcing these two groups together to connect. And Black would just be alive after B17, so you don't really have to worry too much about life and death. But then this happens, and then here. White peeps here, and then black plays here to cover the peep, and it's nice, but it still doesn't have a lot of eye shape. And here, the crazy move, I think, is this one, where you cut, and now black plays this empty triangle to wedge in toward white's shape, and then clamps. After this one, you need to defend here, otherwise white will live. So you play here, and then white plays here, and now has this really cool Tesuji combination, which I did not see at all. Here, 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 and then this, here, and then up. You have to play here because you need that group to make two eyes. Then you do this, and similarly, you need that group to make two eyes. Otherwise, there's going to be a you need to Atari here. Otherwise, you're going to make a ko, and that's going to be very bad for you. So we do this, and now this exchange really feels like it's biting black. It's a pain in the butt. So then black plays here. White resists very strongly with this wedge, and then black tries to make some trouble here, but white plays very calmly like this. And now there's no Aji in this area. I mean, black lived in this area, but this group is kind of over, right? You have to play here, here, and then here. Then white plays here, 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 and then connects. And now this ko starts, and this is where the game is basically over at this point. I feel like because there's nothing that black can really do here. This isn't a real. This isn't like a fightable ko, right? So it's very difficult for black at this point. So, because black has no real threats to make two eyes, it is black is basically just straight up dead here. It doesn't feel like this is a fight that black can win. And then after that, it's like captured stones, captured stones, captured stones. There's nothing black has that makes up the value of this. Even though this dies and this dies and this dies, white just seems like they have way too much. Especially after playing here, there's just too much here. Yeah, so this is a really cool game. I wish I understood it better with my own strength, but I will be coming back after watching the video and doing my own AI review independently, and I'll see you in that video.